Welcome to Football with Cheese. So in this video, we're going to continue our series of the top 5 biggest offseason moves for every team. We did the NFC West last week. We are doing the AFC West this week. And this video is all about the Las Vegas Raiders. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notification so you never miss one of my videos. I cover all 32 teams on this channel. Okay, so here is how this works. I'm going to give you the 5 biggest things that happened to the Raiders in the offseason in no particular order. Could be anything. A free agent signing, could be a draft pick, a trade, a coaching change. You get the point. And then what I need you guys to do is let me know in the comments what move you think will impact the team the most in the 2026 season. Got it? All right, let's get started. Number 1, getting the first overall pick and drafting Fernando Mendoza. In fact, really just overhauling the quarterback position in general. It was a no-brainer. He was the Heisman Trophy winner. He won the national title. He was the best quarterback prospect in this draft by far. I know some people say he's not on the Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, Joe Burrow level. Well, he's not, but he's still a very good prospect. And he has all the intangibles and leadership you want in your starting quarterback. I would have drafted him as well if I was the owner of the Raiders. And they also signed Kirk Cousins to be the bridge. So I actually don't love that fit. I know a lot of people in the media think it's such an amazing signing. He can help Fernando Mendoza, and he probably will. But Kirk Cousins has not handled situations well in the past. He can be a little high maintenance. He doesn't like getting benched. And I guarantee you, he expects to be the starter for all of this year and maybe another year or two. I know that sounds crazy, and I know that's not the Raiders' plan, and that's not what they're going to do. But Kirk Cousins, he really wants to play. And we saw in Washington, Atlanta, maybe not handle things as well when he doesn't get to play. And just really trading Geno Smith, getting him out of the building was really smart. As bad as the Raiders offseason was last year, and it was awful, they made up for it this year by making a lot of really smart moves that we'll continue to talk about. Like number 2, firing Pete Carroll. Another terrible fit. I don't know what they were thinking. I'm guessing Tom Brady made this call. Why would you hire a 73-year-old coach for a rebuilding team? And Seattle just wanted him out of the building. Seattle fans can't stand him because even though he won one Super Bowl, he really cost them another. And I just don't think Pete Carroll was the reason why Seattle was so good for so many years. And the people defending the Raiders' hiring of Pete Carroll saying, well, he changes the culture. I hate that cliche. He just changes the culture. He changed the culture of the Seahawks. No, they just got better. They got more talent on their team. They got a quarterback in Russell Wilson. So just firing Pete Carroll is great. Just about anybody would be better. Not Matt Nagy or Matt Eberflus, but everybody else. And then hiring Clint Kubiak, who was the offensive coordinator of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. I love his offense. I love what he did for Sam Darnold. His play design, his play calling was tremendous. He confused the Rams secondary throughout the NFC title game, and that's the reason they won that game. They won by 4 points and then won the Super Bowl. So this is just a tremendous hire for the Raiders. Number 3, trading Max Crosby to the Ravens for 2 first-round picks. Wait, what? Oh, wait. Oh. The Ravens nixed the trade. They used his injury to get out of it. Well, shit. So that sucks. I love that trade for the Raiders. Max Crosby's in his prime. It's probably going to take a couple years for the Raiders to be good. Go ahead and get 2 first-round picks for him. 14th overall pick this year and a first-rounder next year in a very strong draft. So here's what I think happened. 2 things, really. Number 1, Eric DaCosta had buyer's remorse. He realized it was an overpay. A lot of people in the media were saying it. He probably didn't mind giving up the 14th pick in this draft because it was a weak draft. But next year's draft, it should be one of the strongest drafts in recent memory. And what if Lamar Jackson gets hurt? What if they have all these injuries and it's the 11th or 12th pick? So I think he had buyer's remorse, and they use that injury to fail the physical. Anybody can fail someone's physical in the NFL. They can find something because everyone's been hit so much. But he's coming off surgery, so of course they can fail it. But I think the second reason is for revenge. Yes, not even joking. He's mad that the Raiders outbid them for Tyler Linderbaum, paid him way more than expected, and they lost one of the best centers in the NFL in free agency. Let me know in the comments what you think the reason is. Do you think it was just a failed physical? Do you think it was buyer's remorse? Do you think it was vengeance? And also let me know in the comments, Raiders fans, who do you think they would have taken at pick 14? So right after the trade happened, I was playing around for my channel for Mock Draft Monday, just doing a practice round, and I put Venga Ioane in there at 14 to the Raiders because Ruben Bain was off the board and the Raiders really need a left guard. And that's who the Ravens took at 14, Venga Ioane. But I think they would have taken Ruben Bain because Bain was expected to be a top 10 pick. In that mock, I had him going to the Chiefs at 9, and he fell to the Buccaneers at 15. So I think the Raiders would have taken Ruben Bain if, and only if, they would have traded Max Crosby. Once again, let me know in the comments. Number 4, adding a ton of key free agents on defense. So we talked about adding Tyler Linderbaum. Offensive line has been an issue for years for the Raiders. Very good move for them. But they also signed 3 outside free agents in their front 7. Kwity Paye, the edge rusher, and then 2 linebackers, Nakobe Dean and Quay Walker. I hope Nakobe Dean plays the Mike, the middle linebacker. Quay Walker is very fast, very talented, but the Packers didn't use him right. They made him the Mike, and he just doesn't have the instincts or the processing speed to play that position. They should have made him either a weak side linebacker or turned him into an edge rusher. There were some people coming out of the draft thought his best position is edge rusher because he's such a good blitzer. So if the Raiders use him right, this is a good move, but he was pretty terrible the last few years for the Packers. And they also re-signed Malcolm Kuntz, so maybe he can finally stay healthy. But no doubt about it, the Raiders got deeper in the front 7. Number 5, they had a really good draft besides even Mendoza. If you just take away Mendoza, the draft looks pretty outstanding. In round 2, they got Traden Stukes. He's a cornerback / safety from Arizona. He's that new school guy that can play deep safety, box safety, also cover in the slot. It's becoming really popular in the NFL these days. They got Jermon McCoy in the 4th round. He was a top 15 player in this class. He just has a knee issue, and there is a rumor that if he needs cartilage surgery, he may never play again. But 4th round, why not take a shot? In day 2, they got Kayron Crawford, edge rusher, Auburn. He had better film than Keldrick Falk, who went in the 1st round. And Trey Zune, I absolutely love this pick. One of my favorite picks in the entire draft. They got him at pick 91. He has 5 position versatility on the offensive line. I think he's going to be their starting left guard this year. And the Raiders now have 3 guys in their offensive line group that could start at center in the NFL. Obviously, they signed Tyler Linderbaum. They have Jackson Powers-Johnson, who's a center at Oregon. And some people think Trey Zune's best position in the NFL will be center. So they probably have their 3 starters interior offensive line for years to come, and all 3 can play center in a pinch. And they also got Mike Washington, running back Arkansas, in round 4. I don't know how he fell that far in a weak running back class. He ran the fastest 40 at the combine among running backs, and he's over 220 pounds. That should be a really good tandem for years to come with Ashton Diente. The Raiders roster, just in general, is just much better than it was last year. I just wish they had added to the receiving core. It's not a great group, but I guess you can't address every weakness in one off season. But I'll say this. Once again, the roster is much better. I don't think they'll be picking anywhere near number 1 next year. In fact, I would not be surprised if they win 8 or 9 games, despite being in a very tough division. So, let me know in the comments down below, which of these 5 moves do you think will have the most impact on the Raiders 2026 season? If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. Really helps out the channel. Me and Mike, we do the Lights Out podcast every Tuesday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Link in the description. Share this, once again, with anyone who loves football. I cover all 32 teams on the channel. Check out these videos on the screen if you have not. One is recapping all the drafts for the AFC West, and the other is my final thoughts on the draft with a bunch of nuggets, trends, all of that. And I will see you in the next one.